A very good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Every Voice Matters. Every Voice Matters is a program of Fat Corner projects to educate and raise awareness of young people in Africa towards the expected roles in politics, nation building, governance, and leadership in their respective countries. My name is Gideon Oguniye. I'm the project lead of Fat Corner Project, and I'm your host on the program. Today is a special edition because I'm going to be the sole presenter on the program today. And the topic that I'm going to be discussing is youth advocacy in Africa and the new media. And I'm going to be discussing this topic briefly under a number of outlines. Number one, the importance of youth advocacy, the importance of social media as a platform for youth advocacy in Africa, and also why you need to be part of Fat Corner Project, which is also a youth advocacy project in Africa. So, as a way of introduction, in many African countries, young people have become critical stakeholders and advocates in fighting for sustainable democracy that, that works for everyone. The pervasiveness of social media and other related information technologies have expanded opportunities and platform for digital activism by young people. We've seen social media platform being used for several advocacy interventions to promote civil rights, to promote youth participation in politics and governance, to promote collaboration among young people nationally and internationally, to create a platform for voices of young people, to create platform for speaking to power, for criticizing unfavorable government policies, procedures, and practices, to demand for accountability from operators of government, to demand for transparency and fairness of government activities, to assess the overall performance of operators of government, and also to campaign for social change, for campaign for political change, to campaign for economic change. So we've seen these different advantages, several advantages, of digital platform in promoting youth advocacy in Africa. So, as part of this presentation, I'm going to give you some survey. I'm going to discuss some survey that's been published on the use of social media by young people in Africa. And the first one I'm going to talk about is a survey called Common Futures Conversation Survey, which was published on the website of Chatham House in August 2019. And the question they asked is that what do young people think about social media's role in politics? They interviewed 3,487 young people from 13 countries across Africa and Europe, and they compare the respondents from Africa with the respondents from Europe. They asked these young people, a range of questions about how they engage with news and political discussions online. One of their results, when they asked people to select the channel they thought to be reliable source of information and news, and the result is what you've seen on the screen. Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, significant number of the respondents see this platform as reliable source of information and reliable source of news. And the interesting result I want you to see on this graph is that if you look at the respondents from Africa, more of them think Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn are more reliable, a reliable source of information and news, more respondents in Africa think that this platform are reliable than the respondent from Europe, which is represented by this light green. So that means that young people in Africa have seen social media as a reliable platform for information, for exchanging information, and for getting instant news, not only political news, economic news, and so on and so forth. Another data, when people were asked that what are the factors that will increase their likelihood to participate in a political debate, and we've seen, you can see on the screen different factors that are pointed out as factors that will influence people to participate in a political debate. Expert engagement, if they are experts on the discussion, if people of same age, if politicians are there, people will be willing to participate. If it is a face-to-face, people will be willing to participate. But the important result that I want you to see is that responding from Africa, they are more likely to participate on social media than respondents from Europe. And you can see under social media, you will see that the bar representing Africa is higher than the bar representing Europe. That is, more people from Africa think that they will participate in a political debate that's taking place on social media than people from Europe. And there are so many reasons for this kind of results, because political participation, physical political participation in Africa is more difficult for young people than participation on social media, and for so many reasons, and which we've discussed on this program. I want to show you another survey carried out by PEW Research Center, and this survey was published in 2017, and they were talking about the use of internet across 6 sub-Saharan African countries. So their results shows that there is increasing use of internet across sub-Saharan African countries. For example, it moves from 43% of the sample data in 2013 to 59% in 2017 in South Africa. It moves from 34% to 40 in 2013 to 46% in 2017 in Senegal. Nigeria from 33% in 2013 to 42% in 2017. In Ghana, from 26% to in 2013 to 39% in 2017. And in Kenya, we've seen increase. In Tanzania, we've seen increase, that people are increasingly using internet in sub-Saharan Africa. So the next question is that who are more likely to use internet across sub-Saharan Africa? More educated people are likely to use the internet more than less educated people. For instance, in Senegal, 89% more of the respondents that are educated are going to be on the internet, compared to 37% that are less educated, and so on and so forth. So they also show that young people are more likely to use the internet than the older generation. For instance, in South Africa, 75% of people between the age of 18 and 19 are likely to use the internet, and it's just 31% of people that are 50 years and above that are going to use the internet in the country, compared to Senegal, where 61% of people between the age of 18 to 29 people and 29 years old, 61% are going to use the internet, compared to 23% of people that are 50 years and above that are going to use the internet. So what this shows is that young people in Africa are more active on social media than on internet, I mean, than older generation. And so if there are no right policies, or if there are policies to gag social media or to gag the internet, the younger generation are the most affected. That is what this statistics is showing. Another one to consider is, what do people do on the internet in sub-Saharan Africa? Majority of the people say that they stay in touch with their family and friends. So they engage social media for entertainment and for social networking. Some people say that just for them to make and receive payment, that is for e-commerce, for looking for job. Just low amount percentage of the people want to use internet to look for job. Lower percentage want to use the internet to buy a product or to take a class. Interestingly, to get information, to get news about politics, we have significant percentage of the respondents that are interested to use the internet to get information about politics. For instance, in Senegal, 46% of the respondents want to use the internet to get information about politics. In Kenya, 59%. In Nigeria, 62%. So this is a significant result, showing that people, young people, want to use the internet for political engagement. So when you attack social media platforms, when you attack the internet, and when you try to put in place policy that limits the access of young people to internet platform, to digital platform, what you are trying to do is that you are infringing on the rights of young people to participate in politics. Another interesting result here, okay, this is showing 5 major activities that people engage with on the internet. So music and movies is like the most common activity on the internet. Ghana 67%, Nigeria 60%, and the median is 61%. And interestingly, politics come number 4, and we've seen the median of 37% of the respondents engage with politics on the internet. So this is very important for people, for policy makers in Nigeria, in Africa, to know that young people want to use the internet for political participation, for political participation, and to engage, to collaborate with their fellow young people, and so on and so forth. So across Africa, we've seen examples of revolution that started on social media. For example, the Egyptian revolution in 2011, the Tunisia revolution, the Sudan revolution. And since then, we've seen that social media, especially Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, have started to gain traction as an effective political tool in Africa. A more recent example was the widespread EndSARS protest in Nigeria in 2020, where young people in the country were calling for an end to police brutality, particularly the disbandment of a rogue police unit. And we see how young people in Nigeria use Twitter and Facebook to organize and to drive and to sustain the protest. And thousands of young people participated in demonstrations across the country. This started as an online campaign. So it was the largest national protest in a generation in Africa's most populous country. And given the role that the young people play in that protest, it was impossible to miss how digital tools on their smartphones, especially their social media platforms, including Twitter, were used to organize and to sustain the protest. So we saw that many international celebrities, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, and many other celebrities, sports stars, and politicians spoke in support of the protest, which gained worldwide attention in October last year with the help of social media, especially Twitter. Celebrities like Piers Morgan, John Boyega, Kanye West, Mesut Ozil, and other international figures use social media platform, especially Twitter, to support the nationwide protest, which gathered massive momentum in Nigeria. And the protest was held in several cities in Nigeria for about 2 weeks before it was hijacked by hoodlums who looted and destroyed public and private properties. So you can see where the current attack on Twitter from operators of government in Nigeria is coming from. That gives you a rough idea of where this current attack is coming from. In the wake of the violence that succeeded the protest in 2020, former Nigerian presidential aspirant, a shifting of the ruling party and an appointee of the current government in Nigeria sued Twitter boss for allegedly meddling in Nigerian internal affairs and sponsoring the protest, although he withdrew the suit after he realized that it was an effort in utility. So what I want to bring out from these statistics and from this discussion is that social media, digital activism have come to stay in Africa, and Africa leaders, they are not comfortable with the kind of freedom that young people have on social media. For example, key government actors in Nigeria have been calling, from the Minister of Information to some state governors and some other political actors, have been calling for regulation of social media, especially during the EndSARS protest. So the recurring rationale for these calls revolve around stopping the spread of fake news, as it were, which they say can destabilize the country. But we know that it's an effort to try to gag social media users and try to limit their freedom and to attack free speech. So these people have not come to realize that political advocacy has changed significantly over the past 2 decades. And one of the most important or most significant change has been the emergence of the internet and related technologies such as social media platforms for political information, for expression, for political participation. And citizens in many African countries leverage on social media platforms to get political news, to get to hear their opinions, to participate in electoral and issue-based campaigns, to collaborate with other young people in different advocacy projects. So digital advocacy, digital activism have come to stay in Africa. And based on the current trend, digital activism will continue to be a salient element, if not the most important form of youth advocacy in Africa. However, there's still a question of the effectiveness of digital activism and in achieving the ultimate goal of youth advocacy in Africa. And there's also a question of abuse. We've seen digital platform being used to spread fake news. These are the things that we as young people in Africa have to think about and have to work against to make sure that we use social media for advocacy in the right way, in a responsible way, and not to abuse the openness of social media platform. And that is why I will quickly talk about Fat Corner Project. Fat Corner Project is a youth advocacy project in Africa. It's a global community project and established to empower African youth through the webinars that we run, through the online tutorials that we run, through our talk shows, through digital tools, through online resources that we provide. And we aim to use an holistic approach to create social, economic, and political empowerment for young people in Africa so that we can address myriad of challenges that are facing them. And this program that I'm speaking on right now, Every Voice Matter, is one of the anchor programs of Fat Corner Project. And this program is an online panel discussion and interview programs that centers on conversations around politics, nation building, governance, and leadership in Africa. And what we're trying to do, our main focus is on how African youth can be agents of change towards building a better Africa. So this main focus can be broken down into sub focuses, which are to increase youth engagement and participation in politics, in governance, in leadership, in nation building in Africa, to raise awareness and orientation of African youth towards expected roles in nation building, to create a platform for educative, innovative, and advocacy discussion to equip African youth with the knowledge and the tool they need to be agents of change. So this program, Every Voice Matter, is a weekly program on every Saturday, 6 p.m. GMT. So look forward to our subsequent episode, and also reach out to us to be part of what we are doing in Fat Corner Project. You can volunteer to be a team member, and we can assure you that this project is a project that will provide young people with the skills and the knowledge they need to make more constructive use of social media, especially for networking and for advocacy. So I'm going to put our email address on the screen, which is info@fatcorner.org. You can reach out to us if you want to be part of this project, and if you want to be a team member, or you want to hear your views, you want to express your views on the topics that we come up with on the project. You can also look for us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/fatcorner.org. You can look for us on YouTube. You can reach out to us in the comment section of this broadcast. Thank you very much, and then we meet again next week for another episode of Every Voice Matter. Thank you. Goodbye.